back on your screens with another video. Now, you are in a different angle for this video, and that is because I am doing a face painting tutorial. I am going to do Pennywise, the clown from It. Now, I do realise that Pennywise was kind of all the rage last year after the new film came out. I think it was last year. But I think he'll still be popular this year, so hopefully you like this video. So the first step is you get a sponge. I have these ones that are actually circular ones, but then I just cut them in half. The paint that I will be using today is actually Snazaroo face paint, so just in case you wanted to know that, I guess. So the first step is to use the sponge and put white all over your face. Oh, also, I don't use a pot of water usually. I do for my brushes, but for my sponges I don't. I use a little spray bottle that has just plain water in it. I give the sponge a spray, and then I also spray onto my paint, and then that I think that helps the sponge to soak up a bit more paint. Rather than just dipping your sponge into a cup of water or a bowl of water, because I think then your water will just get really muddy really quickly. So that's the way I do it. Other people may do it differently. That's up to them. I do have a mirror just below the camera, so I will keep looking down, but hopefully that won't be too annoying. So yeah, like I said, just do white all over your face. Do you know what? You guys know how to put white all over your face, so I will be back when I have done my entire face. So I am back. My face is entirely white. I do realise I look very silly right now, but it will all come together by the end of the video, I promise. So the next step that I usually do when doing Pennywise is I usually do his eyebrows, which are actually really thin. So I haven't blocked out my eyebrows just because I wouldn't usually do it, because I do face paint usually quite little kids, so I don't really see the point in blocking out their eyebrows. It's just an extra step that they don't really need. If I was to do it on an adult that was going to a really big party or something, I probably would block out the eyebrow, with which the way that you do that is you just use a normal glue stick usually, a normal glue stick that you can get anywhere. Kind of draw it on over your eyebrows. You use a powder to set it. You do that about 3 or 4 times over and over, and then usually your eyebrows are blocked out. That really does actually depend on the colour eyebrows you have. The darker your eyebrows are, the less likely you are to be able to completely block them out. Because mine are blonde, usually I am able to completely block them out, but like I said, I don't really see the point in doing that for this, because I usually do this on quite little kids. So yeah, the next step is to just draw on Pennywise's eyebrows. the way that I do this is I start at the base of my eyebrow and then go upwards and do a little curve, because his R's are quite like arched in a way. So if I just quickly do that now, watch how this goes wrong because it's on camera. Yep, you can't see it. Of course. As well, because you're going on over white, it usually does take a few layers. There we go. Now it's usually this eye that I do wrong, or that I mess up when I'm doing this on myself, because I am left-handed, so it is a bit awkward to do it. Yeah, they're even enough. So what I usually do next is I get one of my sponges again. I give it a quick spritz with the water, and then I get my pink, that also has a little dab of white in it, please ignore that, but I just, without really picking up too much paint, so I don't rub it in, I kind of just dab it so it doesn't pick up too much, and then I just go under my eye so it kind of looks a bit more irritated. Again, you don't have to do this, it just kind of gives that extra little effect in a way, which is quite nice. So you just start at the nose and then just all the way underneath and down onto the cheekbone. As well, it just makes your cheeks kind of look a little bit more rosy. So that the camera's actually picking it up a lot more than it actually shows up, which is kind of annoying. But yeah, so that is that. You kind of just start at the top of the nose and then just down around the eye. And that's that step. Right, the next step, this is what I love about Pennywise as well, is you don't, or any clown really that you go as for Halloween, is you don't have to be super neat with it. It can be kind of patchy and like not really like perfect, because after all it is a scary clown. They're not going to take ages on their makeup, are they? So that's the one thing that I love about people that choose Pennywise, is it's really quick to do, because you don't have to be like, there's not a lot of like really precise steps that you have to do. So the next step is to fill in your lips. For this you get the red paint and a small-ish brush. Doesn't have to be tiny, but also it's better if it's not huge. What I actually like to do as well is get a tiny bit of black and mix that in with the red, because that just makes the red a little bit deeper. And just kind of more of like a lip red instead of like just a really bright red. Makes it look a little bit more spooky, in my opinion. You guys might not think so. But yeah, that's what your paint will look like when you mix in with the black. The great thing about Snazaroo paints though is if you do mix on the actual paint, if you just get a wet wipe at the end and wipe it off, you don't really lose that much paint, and it completely clears your little pot back to the original colour. So that is very nice as well. So yeah, you just fill in your lips. I usually go a little bit over my lips, so my mouth does look a little bit bigger, and that makes it easier for the next step, which is joining your lip kind of up to your eye. You'll see what I mean when I do it. So I will be back when I have filled my lips in. So I am getting sillier and sillier looking, but I am back. I have filled in my lips. I just wanted to show you kind of what it looks like when it's done. Like I said, I do kind of, especially with my top lip, I go quite over where my natural lips stop, so my lips do look kind of fuller and bigger, just because I think it looks a little bit more unnatural, so it looks a bit more creepy. Also, what I like to do after I do the lips as well, just before I do connect them, connect the lip to my eye, is just do little, kind of like a little line just from where the corners of your mouth, just to make it easier to do that line quite naturally. So yeah, that is the next step, is to, no it's not, I tell a lie. The next step is to get a brush kind of with a bigger end to it, I guess, because so far I've just used these two which are quite small. So yeah, get a bigger brush, and in your black, not where you've sprayed it, so just outside of where you sprayed it, so it's still a little bit wet but not massively. You just kind of dip it in like that, and what I like to do is just go over a little bit of my eyelid and just underneath as well, so it makes the eye kind of look a bit smoky and dark. So I will be back when I have done that. So I am back. You probably can't tell a massive difference, but I have just done the black around my eyes, just to make my eyes look a little bit more smoky and like in on themselves, if that makes sense. So they're not like bulging, they're kind of in. Make me look kind of tired as well, I guess. So the next step is you get a kind of pointed brush and your red paint. What I like to do is I don't like to wet this brush, I like to just put it in the wet paint, just so when you connect the lip to the eye, it's not like a really precise line. It does look a little bit dry and irritated in a way. So that's what I'm gonna do for you now. Once I've covered my brush, which usually takes a while. So there we go. You don't cover the brush all the way, like all of the bristles. You only cover some of them. But yeah, like you can see the brush is quite dry. So yeah, the next step is to just join. So that is one side done. I'm gonna try and do this one so you can see it on camera actually. So there we go. So that is the joining up done. Like I said before, this side did turn out a lot better than this side. Again, that is just because I am left-handed. So drawing on this side of my face is just a struggle. But yeah, that's generally what that should look like. Just kind of out and then back in and then join the eye. And then you do go just up to the eyebrow with the red as well. The very last step for this look, which isn't, it's kind of an optional step, but what I like to do is I like to go in with my brush that I used with the black, and just at the base of my lip and then at the top edge here where your kind of cupid's bow is, I like to kind of shade, like make sure your black brush is dry with a bit of black on there that again isn't too wet, it's like pretty dry, and then just kind of go in and shade so your lips look kind of two coloured and like blendy, and I don't know the technical terms. But yeah, that's the last step that I like to do, so I'll do that now and show you what that looks like. So yeah, you just kind of draw on the black at the base of your lip and then get a drier brush. This one is red because I've just done it, but you get a dry brush and then you just kind of blend it. So that is what the bottom looks like. I have smudged the white, I will have to go over that. But yeah, you just do the same thing on the top lip. So yeah, that is what your lips should end up looking like. I have smudged my white, so I'm just going to quickly go over that. There we go. And that is really your finished look. It's pretty easy, pretty simple. Not really much else to say. There we go. So I hope you liked this video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up. And I'll see you in my next one. Bye.